I mean, something that we got to face is that the consumer and then the agents themselves look at the industry and say, "Hey, everybody does the same thing. Who am I going to choose?" And the problem is, if you're not careful, they're going to choose the cheapest always, right? And so you got to be really careful about that. So how do you fight and combat that? Is you create proprietary value. And the proprietary value is, what are you doing different? Even if you're using the same system, how are you making that system unique and different in the way you're using it, the way you're deploying it in your marketplace? And there's a ton of examples I could use in real estate, but I think it crosses all boundaries. Is what are you doing differently? That's the first thing, is my proprietary differences, which is super important, which a lot of people don't define. And then secondly, and this is so important, this is a missed opportunity, it's your people. Because your people are going to be the touch point of the brand to the public, right? So your people are what connects your company to consumers, right? So you being able to train your people to be the best service providers, the best producers, the best at what they do makes a massive, massive difference. And we all experience this when you're out in the field and you're at a restaurant, you're at a hotel, you're getting your car washed. The training and the way you're treated makes a difference if you're going to come back. And people just discount that. They think about it's about the car wash mechanics of how good it washes the car. Well, yeah, it is, but it's also about the way you were treated when you paid your bill walking into that car wash, right? So I think that applies to a lot of things in our industry.
Do you find that, the training and delivery, one component, the culture and personality being another? How do you see fit playing to that? So fit between, let's call it, the agent and their staff, but also like that whole mechanism to the end customer. Like, some people are going to want that high touch, high engagement, very personalized. And some people just want to do the transaction. And, I imagine that there's a lot of different ways the same approach could be sliced based on the alignment between the customer.
I think you're right, but at some point you're still going to be touching somebody, right? And I think also the touch points within an automated system. So let's say you automate a lot of these touch points. The automation itself can be much more personalized than it is. I'll give you a classic example of that in real estate. And I would say this across all sales organizations, is that we're all trained to use CRM, client relationship management software. And so when you're using client relationship management software, a lot of them have a drip campaign. And so we turn the drip campaign on, that drips on our consumer, and that could be across all fields. But what that happens for the consumer standpoint is that drip comes into your email. It looks like noise because you know it's a drip. You know it's just generic garbage. And so you just mass delete. I just did it right before our podcast. I went through and mass deleted 100 emails that came in this morning because I know they're all drip campaigns. I could care less. So how do you take an automated system and personalize it? And the answer for a lot of what I see people doing today is people incorporating video in what they're doing. So instead of having a drip that's all text, you do a video and you send that out. And now that video is you, a human being, personalizing the message, personalizing the service delivery, and they feel so much better about it because now that's Jim, who I met at my house, one day, or I met at an open house, and now he's got this 10-point drip, but it's him delivering it. It's not some cold messaging. And I think that's where you can marry the two, where I don't want to talk to Jim for 20 minutes, but I'll watch Jim for 3 minutes. So, you know what I mean? So I think that's how you marry it.
Yeah, well, you can watch this podcast over and over again if you want to see Jim for 20 minutes. Well, I think even especially now, 2026, with everything is AI and, people are not everything, but people are reading it and saying, like, how much of this is actually written, by being able to put that personality in place. It supports that relationship lever. It supports the value that people are getting. And it's ultimately, the point isn't to send the drip. It's to get closer to your customer and to have them engage with you. So